Hello there, welcome to Meridian Arborist Guild. I'm Zach. Today we're going to show you how to build one of these lanyards. So I just wanted to show you what they're for. Alright, so here are the materials we're going to need to build our own work positioning lanyard. This is 12.7 millimeter Samson line. I'm 6'4", and how I determine that it's around 13 feet is just do 2 arm lengths, and then this one's maybe 13 feet, maybe 13 and a third feet, 13 4 inches. So that'll be perfectly fine. You can use any climbing line that you're comfortable with. I just like this thicker. This is actually what I use as rigging line as well. And it just feels really nice in the hand. You'll need 2 carabiners. You can really use whatever you'd like as long as they're life support rated, which both of these are. One is more of an angular carabiner that's twist lock, and then this other one is CT climbing technology oval carabiner, and it's got a triple action clip. I like the oval. On the end that I'm going to use a pulley. Any pulley really will work. Again, needs to be life support rated, but this pulley I'll use to tend my hitch, which my hitch is going to be a 30-inch long eye-to-eye prusik. This one is 8 millimeters in diameter. It grips really well on the 12.7 millimeter rope. So that's all you'll need. 1 prusik, 2 carabiners if you're choosing, some sort of pulley if you want it. You don't have to have that, but you won't be able to tend slack one-handed without some sort of pulley. And then, like I said, length is up to you. I like 13 feet. All right, time to assemble this. You don't need to wear a harness while you put one of these together, but this way I'll be able to show you how it works when I'm done. So I'm going to start with either end of the line, doesn't matter, but we're going to start with the asymmetrical carabiner that I'm using with the twist lock gate, and we're going to put a double fisherman's loop on the end. If you need help tying that, I have quick how-to videos on all the knots we're using here. All right, so we have that. Down from that, we will next need our prusik. So again, this is an 8 millimeter, 30-inch eye-to-eye. You can use any hitch you want. Again, I have many hitch videos on how to tie them if you need help with that. So I'm just going to do a simple Schwabisch on this. It's easy, it's compact, which I find is nice on a work positioning lanyard because it just helps keep it out of the way while you're working. Like a VT, for example, can get kind of long on a work positioning lanyard, but a lot of people use them, so I would try a bunch of different hitches and see what works best for you. So, got a Schwabisch on here now. Next, we'll take the pulley. And our oval triple locking carabiner. What we'll do here, it's probably going to be a little hard to see from over there, but we're going to have one eye of the prusik, the hitch in the middle, other eye of the prusik. Carabiner goes through all of them, and then I always flip them around so that I have the hinging end of the gate nearer to the pulley. And I find that keeps everything together really nicely. So now we have the non-hitch end. You can put that on one side of your D-ring. I like to have the hitch near my dominant hand. So I'll put that on the right. Now we're not done. I'm just showing you here what's going on. So now we have the main part of our lanyard. The last thing we need to do is at this end, where all the slack is, we need to put a termination knot. Now if you're in the tree, you're pulling out a lot of your lanyard, you know, you're going to go over a union way up above you, reset your climbing line, whatever you're doing in the tree, you can go, if you're not paying attention, and end up pulling your line right through your pulley and through your prusik, and now you have nothing attaching you to the tree. So that we should always be mindful of how much line we're using, but if for some reason you kind of forget for a second, or you're not paying attention, or your prusik fails and it runs on you, something like that, you want to have a termination knot. So I'm just putting a figure 8 here at the end, and then it's not at the very end either. You know, if something were pushing on this, you want to have some rope so it doesn't untie itself. So we've got a figure 8 on the end is our termination knot, and then now we can, with one hand, tend the slack. And this is not weight supporting, but it'll kind of show you here. So we've got this. If you want to move up, you can tend your slack, sit back in it, give slack out this way. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. That was how to make your own lanyard with just a few pieces of equipment that most people who have done any tree climbing probably have laying around. If you need to buy everything, even with decent components, you can probably build it for between $100 and $120 if you want like top of the line arborist or climbing gear. You know, it's going to go up from there, and that's totally fine. Building your own lanyard isn't always about saving money. It's just making something that maybe no one else is making for you to buy. So that's kind of how I started making my own. And again, I like building my own things. Then you're inspecting as you build, and then you're familiar with how it's supposed to look. So inspection's very easy before every time you get in the tree. But anyway, thanks for checking it out. We'll do more of these how-to videos, and we're going to try and spend some more time outside as it warms up here in Michigan. So thanks for watching, guys.